Beautiful people, welcome back to another video. For those new here, Pete, some call me Pilot Pete, Boeing 767 airline pilot, and we're currently in Atlanta, Georgia, in our hotel room, about to hit the sack, go to bed because we got a 5 a.m. wake up tomorrow. This is a 3-day airline pilot trip. It started with a deadhead down to Atlanta. I used the deadhead actually to travel from Paris. We're back from Paris with myself, SJ, her mother, my mom. It was a great trip, and we're back to work, so we're back to flying. As always, you want to come along and join? Let's go do it. So this airline pilot trip is actually a 4-day trip with the deadheads on both sides. It's a double deadhead trip, which is my personal favorite because I don't live in base. The company's responsible to pay for my airline ticket, my hotel, and my transportation to and from the airport, which is a great thing for a commuter since I don't live in Memphis and base. Here's a look at the pilot schedule. It's a little dirty. Hold on a sec. Here's a look at that 4-day schedule. 1, 2, 3, 4. Started with a deadhead, like I said, from Memphis to Atlanta today, but I actually just jump seated down. I didn't pay for a ticket because the company actually ended up paying for my ticket from Paris to New York. I had less than 24 hours at home, and then I got myself down to Atlanta. Nice little perk with my company is you can use that deadhead money plus or minus 3 days of a trip. So they were able to cover the cost of my upgraded to PD lay flats, Paris, back to Newark. Then, like I said, jump seated LaGuardia to Atlanta today. Tons of flights, plenty of open seats. Got to Atlanta around 6 p.m. local, checked into my hotel, and had my favorite eatery here in Atlanta, the Flower Child, healthy little bowl. Easy to kind of keep on track by finding the healthy places nearby. Went to Trader Joe's, grabbed some snacks for tomorrow because we have a 5 a.m. wake up for our first and only leg of the day, Atlanta to Oakland, California. That's a 5-hour transcon. I've been doing a lot of transcons, but it's all right. I prefer one leg, get it over with, and longer flights instead of up and down, or hub turning as we like to call it. So 5 hours to Oakland. We'll have about a 27-hour layover there, and then late afternoon, Oakland. The next day on the 18th, we'll fly Oakland back to Atlanta, and it's another probably on 4:15 actually with the headwinds and tailwinds since it's wintertime. And the trip ends at the deadhead. So we'll land at 10 o'clock on Thursday night in Atlanta, and there's a 10:50 flight back to New York. I'm going to cross my fingers, hope to make. If I don't, company provided hotel, we'll stay over, and then on Friday morning, we'll jet back to New York. Overall, this trip has 9 hours and 33 minutes of block, but 18 hours and 42 minutes of pay, and that's because of the deadheads, the min-day guarantee that we get. So honestly, it's a great trip, especially being so close to Atlanta. It's less like it's like an hour and a half flight to get here with so many directs to LaGuardia, Newark, JFK. Easy peasy for Pilot Pete. So early morning wake up, we got a king bed. We're happy about that. No strip is on.
Where am I?
I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the transcon.
Beautiful people, good morning from the Atlanta ramp, bright and early, 6 a.m. APU's firing up on the 767. If you can see in the distance, I'll zoom in here, the ATL tower. Kind of hard to see, but it's lit up green and red for the Christmas holidays. We got my old employer 747 over there. A potential for a small conundrum. The fuel truck just left, unless it just left because it ran out of gas. But if it left because it thought we were full, it forgot one small thing. That would be the fuel panel on our left wing. So we obviously can't go anywhere without that being closed. So hopefully they're on their way back, but I'll obviously tell ground personnel, hey, because that could be easily missed at night if no one's paying attention. But obviously Pilot Pete is, but they also could have just said, hey, we just ran out of gas, so we need another truck to fill it up. So maybe that's the case, but that's what the fuel panel looks like on the left wing of the 767. All right, pre-flight complete. We got our food. We got our bag. I'll probably be pilot monitoring. 5 hours to Oakland. Let's get out of Atlanta and get some hopefully a little bit warmer pastures. All right, pre-flight's done. We're all set. Just waiting on our final weight and balance to come through. That's what this should be right here. Nope, fuel report, we're waiting on that as well. Just showing us how much fuel is loaded. We double check that with the actual fuel on board. 99,000.5 pounds of fuel. So we're not fully loaded with gas, but that's a lot of gas for us to take. Make sure that all checks, which it does. And we accept that. And then next thing we're waiting for is our final, which should match our preliminary report, which it almost always does 99.9% of the time. So we got all the same numbers here that checks. And we can accept that and we'll be ready to go. Next stop is Oakland, 5 hours en route. Let's go fly.
Greetings from rainy, cloudy Oakland, California. Believe it or not, we had to do an auto land. The weather was that bad. We could not see the runway, which means we had to let the airplane do it itself. Plus, we're actually, 45 minutes south of the Oakland airport right now, so it's not as bad of weather. But yeah, good flight overall, long, but had some interesting factors coming into land for runway 12 here in Oakland. Departed Atlanta, what's considered the busiest, biggest airport in the country. I think it's per passengers and departures and arrivals. But anyway, taxi to runway 26 left for departure via Alpha, cross 26 right. We had airplanes coming into land early morning Atlanta, but air traffic control did a great job getting us out. And then our departure procedure was the cut-in to RNAV departure. Pretty standard flight, a little bit of weather over the Memphis area. We got there a little bit bumpy at 32,000 feet, but pretty standard. Nothing to report until the arrival into Oakland, California. We always pretty much come from the east and always do this Oaks 3 RNAV arrival. And I've landed in Oakland probably 20 times so far in my career at my current company. And it's always been to fist for landing runway 30 here in Oakland. But today, first time for Pilot Pete, we actually landed runway 12, which means the approach goes to band intersection and these other points to set you up for a left downwind for runway 12. So it's the opposite runway. Like I said, I've never landed runway 12. With the weather here, the wind was forecasting or favoriting runway 12, and it was the ILS to runway 12. So I got vectored on, air traffic controller just giving us procedures. We're out about 200 knots coming up to Plaza. Captain slowed to about 190 and then configured for landing. And then the last minute, the weather actually got really bad where airplanes were having to go around. Instead of having to do a go around because they couldn't see the runway, the fog and the low clouds and the rain, the planes couldn't see the runway at the minimum altitude that you must pick up the runway by, which is 200 feet above the ground or 209 feet MSL, mean sea level. But for all those muggles out there, 200 feet above the ground, airplanes were coming into land, couldn't see the runway, and had to execute a go around, which is a normal procedure that we don't do often, but we are very well trained for. So instead of messing with this and having to do a go around, come back around and land and all that jazz, the captain and I decided to just do an auto land. So the airplane land itself, and we were able to pick up the EFIS lights just before this altitude. The EFIS lights are these things right here, basically bright intensity lights that allow the pilots to pick up the runway environment prior to touchdown. So the airplane did a great job because even though you're kind of shadowing the airplane, it does everything. It rounds out, it flares, it touches down, the power comes back. It touched down a little bit left of center line, so not as good as a Pilot Pete landing would have been. So we'll give the auto land a 7.9 out of 10. And honestly, it's used mostly just for these reasons, just so that we can land in bad weather. SJ and I and our moms just landed in Paris from the last video, if you watched that. And that auto land they did on the 777 747 was down to like bare minimum. So they were like a Cat 3 auto land, I believe. Even Sonia said, hey, I didn't even see the runway when we landed. She was looking out the window and I go, yeah, I did an auto land, and explained to her and her mom exactly what that was. But we did pretty much the exact same thing. Now we don't have Cat 3 abilities here at Oakland Airport, but we do have auto land Cat 1 abilities, which is what we did, landed runway 12, and then taxied off of Whiskey 3, Whiskey into our ramp. One thing I noticed on the flight here, for whatever reason, I was looking out the window a lot more than I usually do. There is so much land here in the US. Just land, mass amounts of land. So there's never going to be an issue of people overcrowding cities. Absolutely. But if you want to start a new town or a new city, there is so much freaking land. So that's my 10 cents for you on my cross country Atlanta transcon to Oakland. Otherwise, everything was good. We got a 27-hour layover. I'm not going to be doing much outside because of the weather, but it is lunchtime. I'm going to do my best to stay on East Coast time so I can just roll right into a good weekend, stay healthy. So you already know we're going to hit a non-negotiable workout because I did a really bad job of that in Paris. But be back on the train, the workout train there, food. There's an In-N-Out around the corner, so I may or may not hit that for dinner. We'll see. Oakland layover. Let's begin. The one negative, I guess, trying to stay on East Coast time is West Coast is 3 hours behind. So that means that nothing really open for lunch. It's 1 o'clock Eastern. So I got my snacks I bought yesterday at Trader Joe's, a pack of turkey. But a nice thing about this hotel, they actually have like a crew lounge for us, just for my company's pilots. And they got like usually some good food and snacks. So we'll bring our turkey in there and check out what they got. Hopefully some food to grub down on until real lunch places open up. Pete, it's almost 2:30 in the afternoon, 5:30 East Coast time. Why aren't you at the gym yet? Well, I have not been procrastinating. I've actually been working on my website, flycalmer.com. Because I'm building a service where people are hopefully going to use to overcome their fear of flying. So believe it or not, I've been contacted by thousands of people through messages, emails, DMs, whether it's on TikTok or Instagram. Usually not people watching my YouTube. I will say my audience, you beautiful people on YouTube, are mostly people who are fans of flying, pilots themselves, wannabe pilots, or people who just love travel and flying and overall positive mindset. Not many of you, some of you are, so I'm not shunning you away, are nervous flyers. Ultimately, I'm going to build a service where people can actually hire me to come flying with them, whether it's on their private jet, on their Gulfstream, or sitting next to them on a Southwest flight, whatever it may be. So it's been a couple of weeks pondering the idea, writing down notes, scheduling meetings, trying to figure out how this is possible. And the next step I'm going to do is build out a website. But I'm technically challenged, I have no idea how to do that. So that's what we've been working on for a couple hours. And I realized I'm not gonna be the one to do it. I'm just gonna hire someone and pay them to build a website. So if by any chance that's you out there and you would have any interest in working to help build, it's actually ultimately 3 websites. I'm gonna have like an ultra high-end one where it's literally catered to the ultra billionaires and multimillionaires who want me to fly with them or their family or their kids and kind of help them through their fear of flying. Then there's gonna be the average person that wants to pay to either talk to me before their flight or while they're flying and answer all their questions. That's gonna be the second one. And the third one is helping me get my airport charts that I sell currently on pilotpetefly.com, just on a separate website and just like a Shopify, one place to just put those on Etsy and market those a little bit more because people love them. I've sold hundreds at this point and all positive feedback. And I think that more people want them. I'm not good at getting it out to the masses. So anyway, that's what I've been doing for the last 3 hours since I landed. That's the beauty of being an airline pilot is you can do side projects. And I realized I'd be lying to you if I said I don't want to make another form of income. I don't believe it'll ever match that of what I make currently or what I will make when I'm upgraded to captain. But I enjoy having something to do on layovers besides working out, training for marathons, and vlogging. I want a business. I want something that I can potentially build, see how it works, put my all in. It's just something that I'm passionate about, being an entrepreneur. Shark Tank is a popular show of mine. It's something I like to do. But enough of that. It is hard for me to go to the gym when I'm doing this for hours because you can get locked in, but I gotta make sure I move my body, that's for sure. And honestly, little monologue here, I haven't been feeling the gym and feeling my best self. I don't know if it's the cold weather, the winter coming, so much travel I've been doing. I can't get into like a good routine. I can't really pinpoint it. I think a lot of it has to do with me just not being 100% my best self lately. Haven't been that joyful, haven't been that grateful. I just kind of been going through the motions and everything in my life, whether it be church, working out, my relationships, my businesses, and my passions. So hopefully it's just a little, ebbs and flows, such as life. We'll get back into it. And for all those that are going through it right now, trust me, I've been there, not just now, but in my life. And I think the most important thing, and the thing I always teach people and preach when people ask, is it's just about stacking small wins. So if you can get on the elliptical for 15 minutes, that's a win. If you can go outside for a walk for 10 minutes, that's a huge win. So remember that. You don't always have to get an hour at the gym. You're not gonna look like your favorite fitness influencer or model by, next week or next weekend. But if you stack small victories over and over and over again, ultimately you'll get to where you wanna be, whether it's in business, relationships, health, fitness, cooking, art, whatever it is. So that's what I'm taking out of this. Gotta practice what I preach. Non-negotiable each and every day. We're getting the new year started right by moving our body and getting after it. Cause you already know it's non-negotiable. Just did 40 minutes on the elliptical, and then now I'm just doing some leg exercise / rehab / mobility work. If you've been here before, you know this is the culprit, the right knee, and it's honestly gotten so bad it actually wakes me up when I sleep at night. I can't sit down on the airplane more than like 45 minutes to an hour, especially in the passenger seats. I don't know what the difference is. When it's bent like this for this extended period of time, it literally gets to like a pain level that I can't really deal with anymore. But luckily when I stand up, it goes away almost immediately. Also, that's obviously not normal or good. So we're listening to ChatGPT and we're rehabbing the crap out of it. It's hot in this gym, but we're getting the body moving, feels good.
He don't need them, so he treats him like he treats them. Better them than me, she don't agree with him. She's mad at that, he's not having that.
You know what I just realized? The bid that I talked about in the last 2 videos, pilot vlogs at least, closed yesterday, and I haven't given you an update. That is bad on my part. That's a terrible vlogger and pilot informationist. So I will give you that update, I promise. Just finished my workout, but it's gonna have to come after protein shake, shower, and In-N-Out dinner, because I'm freaking starving. But it will come tonight. I pinky pilot Pete promise. Quad P, right? Pinky pilot Pete promise. It's coming. So in that same pilot lounge where we have waters and breakfast, they also have a bike. How cool is this? Are you kidding me? I wish every place had this. Makes it so much easier to get around. So we're biking to In-N-Out, trying not to get hit by these cars that are definitely pissed at me for driving in their lane. Gonna feast on some animal style burgers. Let's go. I learned something. 4x2, which means 4 patties, 2 pieces of cheese, animal style, plain fries. Lock it up. Let's go. As promised, without further ado, here is the system bid along with the results that I received. So coming in at number 1, my system bid preference was Memphis 777 Captain. Number 2 preference, Memphis 767 Captain. Number 3, Indianapolis 767 Captain. Oakland 767 Captain, and then realistically Memphis 777 First Officer, followed by what I already am, Memphis 767 Officer. And after the bid being open for 2 weeks, 2 practice bids, it finally closed the other day, and I have big news to report. Drum roll, please. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. I unfortunately was not able to hold any of those positions. I don't want to get too deep into why. The way my company does bids is a little bit different than the normal way that I had at my previous airline, my previous airline, and my previous airline. So it's weird. We do a system bid and then we do a vacancy bid. This was considered a system bid, which means there's minimum and maximum staffing levels. Only those who are in those minimum maximum staffing levels can move, and you can go go back to write a refusal and this. Long story short, I have no idea how it works. I just know it's not normal. It doesn't make any sense. The men and women pilots at my company dislike it a lot, me being one of them, because there were junior pilots to me that got the 777 that were in different airplanes. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, maybe MD pilot. No, it had nothing to do with that. They were just junior pilots to me that got the 777 that I should therefore get. It makes no sense. But like I preach, you don't worry about things you can't control. I've had it explained to me before. It still didn't make any sense.
What the hell? What the hell, auntie? What the hell, Barry?
But it is what it is. So unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you are, how you weigh the pros and cons, I'm stuck on the 767, but that's all right. I've been doing a lot of international mixed with domestic, some great trips, all day flying for the most part, cool places. I'm not really bummed about it, to be honest with you. One day I will get the 777.
I'm old enough to face the dawn. Just call me angel of the morning, angel.
One day I will upgrade to captain when my seniority is good enough. But for now, I got about 65% seniority in the 767 in Memphis. It's all fine by me. So sorry to burst your bubble. No real exciting career work news to report, except that we're going to bed. Good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow in Oakland. Good morning, beautiful people. Woke up, didn't sleep the greatest. Woke up like 4 a.m., stayed up for like an hour, read a little Bible, meditated a little bit, prayed, just needed to clear my mind. It's been racing for whatever reason, just with not even bad things, just different ideas, and that stops me from sleeping great. But went back to bed, thankfully, an extra hour, and then woke up, did some work on the laptop, and now you already know what time it is. It's non-negotiable workout. I told you yesterday, we're locking in right before the new year. So here we are. Legs are feeling pretty toasty. I usually walked backwards a little bit on the treadmill to help with the knee pain. And today we'll do some back pull-ups, some biceps, free weight movements. And it's currently 8:15 in the morning. So work out, grab some lunch, and then get ready for our flight. It'll be it'll be a lot shorter than yesterday's flight here because we'll have that tailwind pushing us to Atlanta. And then fingers crossed, I'll be able to shave a full day off of my trip and get paid to be home a day early. So I'll go over that after my workout and we'll get the day started.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Workout complete. I'll bring you guys into the secret lounge we have here at the hotel. Unrestricted access to the pilot-only lounge. Look at the luxury we live in here. It's actually really nice. I mean, not the actual aesthetic, but it's nice that they do this for us. Help yourself. Coffee, yogurts, milk, which I just put in my protein shake, so heck yeah. Garbage cereal, nice fruit. This tastes delicious, but it's garbage for you. A microwave to nuke any food. Speaking of which, nuke. Do you guys know what that means? I tell SJ all the time, hey, do you want your cookie nuked or your brownie nuked? And she's like, what does that mean? It's a common phraseology. It means put your stuff in the microwave. Then you got hot breakfast, some delicious looking eggs, bacon, and biscuits and potatoes. Honestly, like I said, not too shabby, but the reason I'm here, this right here, I just thought about it. This should be at every lounge we have because this would be killer just to get around, be healthy. I'd even be willing to donate money to get bikes at every place we go to. Golf clubs, you can't beat it. It's the little things, folks. Oakland Layover, we love it now. Outside in the fresh air, we got transportation. There's actually a pilot in that lounge when I was finishing up that little bit about the bike. He goes, heck yeah, he was on board, he agrees. This is the best of the little things. You kidding me? Bike ride, a little sunshine, some fresh air, going to Whole Foods so we can eat a proper meal before we operate. Literally, when I become chief pilot, which will never happen because I'm definitely not very liked at my own place, at my own company by many people, but I digress. If and when that ever happens, first order of business, bicycles. We're all getting bicycles. We're making it non-negotiable. Let's go.
We made it to the holy grail of Pilot Pete eating out and trying to be healthy. Bad news though, no bike lock. So I'm filming the bystanders. If any one of them steals this bike, I'll have evidence that they stole it. I'll find them
And I will conquer them.
Across the street, Urban Plates. I've been here before. It's like healthy cooked meals. So I'm gonna do that for lunch. And then go to Whole Foods for the dinner meal. This for lunch, Whole Foods for dinner. Things I would do to have a place like this in Memphis. Oh my goodness. This menu is extensive. I just have to show it off. They got water, help yourself, real utensils, plates, and food for days. Steak, chicken, all these veggies. Now, if you're an entrepreneur or in the restaurant industry in Memphis, Tennessee, I don't know how well you'll do opening up this restaurant, but I can guarantee you I will be there every single day when I'm in Memphis. Literally every single day. I would never eat anywhere else. Memphis is lacking a healthy place to eat, and all I do is Whole Foods, as you guys know, but this place would rush literally anywhere, but especially Memphis. Look at this meal, folks. Come on. Was it 30 bucks? Yes. Did I pay an extra $1 for the Parmesan mushrooms? Yes. Does it look delicious though?
Yes! Yes!
Ready, dressed, packed, early? What?
What?
New year, new me? No, just not so often you have a 1 o'clock showtime for the car ride to the airport. So we love it. We got our workout done. We got some food.
Yes!
Bike ride, some fresh air, got our steps in, feeling good. But I wanted to give you guys an update on this flight. This is a special flight because we are doing some sort of data checklist, ATC, PDLC, shingamaving. So I know that made absolutely no sense, and the truth is I don't really understand what's going on either, but a pilot that is a surveillance, communications, navigation, technical pilot in the flight operations department at my company met us in the lobby yesterday to tell us that our flight was picked out by the FAA and ATC for CPDLC, data flight verification testing. So before I read the message to you, for those who don't know what CPDLC is, it stands for Computer Something Data Link Center, whatever. Long story short, air traffic control and airplanes flying around the world always communicated via radio. Hello, this is Pilot Pete 1 down to Denver Center. Center's air traffic control. Well, the technology exists for air traffic control to communicate via text messages. So that's what CPDLC is. It's basically a text message to our airplane saying, hey, climb to 38,000 feet, and we can just acknowledge it and then climb to 38,000 feet. Instead of, hey, Pilot Pete, flight 1, climb to 38,000 feet. And then we respond, okay, Denver, sounds good. Pilot Pete, climbing to 38,000 feet. It just adds in workload for already understaffed and overworked air traffic control, for pilots, heaven forbid there's an emergency. This just makes it so much quicker. You don't have to worry about weather for communications or mountains. As far as communications go, being in low, calm areas, text messages go through no matter what. So all that being said, it's work in progress. It pretty much works very well so far within the US, and Denver Center is implementing the FAA. I'm just gonna read you the letter. The full services field implementation, the FAA is required to complete the DFV checklist. Due to this field implementation requirement, the FAA sought operator participants for route checks. Fairly simple task. ATC has a bunch of uplinks, and essentially what they're trying to do, I guess I can keep reading it, but it's all gonna be jibber jabber. Basically, Denver Center is implementing new procedures in order to use that CPDLC. So they're using our flight as a testing flight. So they're gonna send us a bunch of messages. I have no idea what they're gonna say. I don't know what they're gonna look like, but they don't actually mean anything. So when they say climb to 38,000 feet, it's a, hey, that doesn't actually mean you guys do that. We're just testing our facilities, running through this checklist. So anyway, we were tagged to do it. You know what it probably was? ATC and the FAA were like, how can we get Pilot Pete's flight? They looked up my schedule and they found I was flying through Denver airspace today from Oakland to Atlanta, and they're like, that's the flight we want to go. Obviously it's a joke, but either way, yeah, it'll be interesting. So obviously tell you more about that when I land. Hopefully that made a little bit of sense. We have all these checklists that we have to do. Who knows what the heck they are? The technical pilot, who who met us in the lobby yesterday at check-in basically said, hey, it's all the information I'm giving you is way too much. It's gonna be very standard and very straightforward. Once you're doing it, it'll make more sense as you're flying. So anyway, I'll be pilot flying. It's more the captain that's gonna be dealing with it because he'll be pilot monitoring and he'll be the one pressing all the buttons, but we'll kind of do it together and kind of see what it's all about. So that'll be the special flight. Pickup downstairs is in 6 minutes. I gotta go. See you on the ramp.
Oh boy, what a beautiful day it is out here on the ramp in Oakland, California. We got a 777. No, it's a 76. Never mind. Also 76. Also 76. Emma is our 76 today for our 4-hour and 27-minute flight to Atlanta. Good weather until we get to Atlanta. Right now, weather is bad over Atlanta and there's more coming. So the visibility at time of arrival is supposed to be like less than 2 miles, 400 feet, which means it's gonna be a hard ILS for your boy to shoot. Unless it gets really, really bad, then we'll have to hand it off to the captain to do an auto land because FOs are not allowed to do auto lands at my company. So good news though, we're over an hour early to the airplane. It's fully loaded. We'll get out of here nice and early. And next stop will be Atlanta, alternate of Knoxville they gave us. But the thing is, Knoxville also has some weather. So Captain and I discussed in the car ride, probably not the best place to go. So we're gonna discuss that even more once I'm back in the flight deck. Anyway, the big dilemma for me is when we land, scheduled to land at like 10 o'clock at night, there's a jump seat at 11 o'clock on my company metal up to Newark. So I can get home a full day early if everything goes according to plan. So pre-flight to 76, leave the beautiful sunny West Coast. Next stop Atlanta, let's go fly.
Hello from the locker room of Atlanta Airport. We made it, we landed. The weather was definitely a factor. One of the most severe turbulence I've experienced in a while. Kind of fun though. Got through it safely and then deviated around some storms. Came into the land runway 8 left, my leg. Gusty winds. I mean, our airplane was looking like this and I was looking at the runway like that. It wasn't really that gusty on the ground. It was just gusty on approach, but you know your boy handled it. We're gonna go with a 8.8 out of 10 difficulty. I would probably raise it up, but it was a beautiful right wheel first, left wheel second, and then front wheel last. And now we're changing out of the pilot uniform, so we got about an hour and a half until the jump seat to Newark. I was gonna head over to the passenger terminal, but with all that weather coming in, I already checked 2 flights, they're delayed. I'm not gonna risk going over there, not getting on the flight. Usually we're known as the operator that goes, because we can handle the weather a little bit better. So yeah, I'll meet the crew. It's on an Airbus 300. It's a different kind of jump seat that I've probably never shown on a vlog, because I don't think I've jump seated on a vlog in a long time. So we'll do that. We'll change, we'll hang out, and we'll make our way back home. All right, so we're jump seating home. It's currently 10:50 p.m. Not too tired, but definitely ready to be back. And here's the Airbus. I'll never shown you guys the Airbus jump seat, but it's one of the favorite planes to jump seat on by crew members because of this reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 jump seats to get you to and from work if you need it. I'm the only one on board. I'm gonna pop a squat. I can actually put all of them down. There's plenty of room to do yoga, jumping jacks, workout, but it's gonna be a bumpy flight. I already got my non-negotiable in, so I'm not planning on doing any more. All the cargo's behind that safety net, so we're hoping it doesn't come and smash our face. And then you're actually kind of sitting backwards, so the front of the plane's that way, and this is how like most flight attendants sit for takeoff on normal planes. But I've always find it weird being that I'm always facing forward, obviously, as the pilot or normal passenger. This way you kind of, when they take off, since we take off pretty steep climb gradient at my company, you definitely feel it. Let's just put it that way. But there's the Airbus little tour of the jump seat area. Should be about 2 hours en route. All that weather we just flew through is blowing north towards Newark. So it's probably gonna be bumpy, and I'm hoping that we get in. I mean, I know they'll get in, professional guys, but yeah, I'll be tired. Excited to get home. Ended up getting home around 2 a.m. yesterday. Took the Airbus jump seat in, showered, got into bed. It was like 2:30, so definitely a long day flying. I think it's called a transcon, Oakland to Atlanta, and then the jump seat. But I'm glad I did, because all those passenger flights on the other side of the terminal that were taking off at like 10:30, 10:45, all delayed. Literally, there were 4 of them. One was delayed for like 3 hours. It was an airline you could probably guess that's usually delayed. And then even the on-time Superior airline was delayed like over an hour. So very glad and thankful that there was that company jump seat to get me back. But otherwise, good trip. Your boy was able to handle the crosswind landing. Happy about that. And not too shabby of a trip, just flying those couple Atlanta, Oakland, nice little layover, and then Oakland back to Atlanta. This will come out on Sunday. Christmas will have passed, so Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays for all those who celebrate. Hope you have the best one with your family and friends. I know it can be also a tough time for a lot of people, the holiday season, for those that don't have their loved ones nearby or who have passed. So my hearts go out to you guys as well. You're not forgotten. And yeah, this is definitely a time where you want to try to embrace as much family and friends time and look forward to the new year and new chapter. So this will be, I guess, the last video as well in 2025, which is crazy to think about. I did a vlog, a video every Sunday for 2025, and the goal was to hit 100K. We are not even close as predicted, but that's all right. We're doing it for the love of the game. 2026 will bring some new things content wise for me. You know, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Not about growing the numbers necessarily, more so just like keeping that passion and that fire and wanting to continue to make videos. So I definitely want to, but I think I have to add in other than just pilot trips, because for me and my audience, they can, you know, sometimes be the same thing over and over. And I don't want to continue to do that. I want to do things that excite me, excite my audience. So
I personally enjoy the content that I put out, though. I think it's positive, uplifting, hopefully informational, and maybe even motivational for some people out there. So I'm going to continue to do it.
29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another video. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy 2025. I'll see you guys in the next year. Thanks for watching. Love you all. Until next time.